All right, Oval fans, we're talking season 2, episode 16, entitled Familiar Faces. And yes, you're getting your review in a timely manner as opposed to the day of the following episode. So yeah, pat myself on the back for that one. But this might seem a bit weird, and I'm not making this up, but I'm going to give this episode a solid 10 out of 10 because I enjoyed it from start to finish. And on Twitter, I didn't watch it live, though. I actually watched the reunion part 2, and then I went back to my room to work on some notes and other things, and I figured, okay, Wednesday will be a good day to do a bulk of videos, and then I can do Sisters on Thursday morning and be done. But this episode was pretty solid, and I tweeted out this morning that if the episode had stopped after the first 12 minutes, basically the Priscilla scenes, I would have been fully satisfied because we got a lot of great character interaction as well as backstory, and I really enjoyed the acting. You know, Priscilla, I know she must need foot massages after work every day because she stands in those heels and like a mountain, she does not move. I feel like, there's pressure put on her and those heels are digging into the ground, but she does not waver. She does not falter. She stands her ground. This was some good stuff, guys. Mind you, this is seconds after she came out of Jason's room and saw the video of Sam just tearing that ass up on Victoria. And then she's literally staring down the same woman that her husband's having an affair with. This was some good stuff. And basically, Victoria's like, what were you doing in there? Oh, I was giving your son a snack. Well, you shouldn't go in there alone. Why is that, ma'am? Because I said so. And, she basically goes on to say, wait, I noticed in your eyes, they're saying a lot. Yeah, I hate you. And I can't stand you. I want to do something to you. And basically, Victoria is just the mean girl. Essentially, she's just a mean girl bullying Priscilla, but she's not wavering whatsoever. She's saying, oh, is there anything I can get for you? Oh, no, I just took a shower. Had some one-on-one time with your husband. Oh, yeah, you went for a run. How'd you know that? Well, yeah, you went for a run, then you went up to the balcony, then you had a little chat, and then you ran again. Oh, no, I was just watching. Oh, yeah, you're observing, huh? So basically, she even takes a light jab in terms of saying that, well, men don't tell you everything because of the fact that he's on security detail, meaning that there are certain things that he shouldn't be telling you. Oh, yeah, well, I know. So basically, Victoria is trying to grill Priscilla, literally trying to make her break. But like I said, she got those heels planted in the ground. She is not faltering whatsoever. And she basically goes on to say, oh yeah, my son's very dangerous and he's in therapy. And, anything he told you, like what, me and Sam having sex in the yellow room was a lie. No, why would he tell me anything like that? So basically, she continues to ask, hey, is there anything I could do for you? And then it's like, bitch, I wouldn't trust you to do anything for me. Oh, really? Why would you say that? And then Sam comes in, and yet again, when Sam's there, it's like Victoria really shows out like, oh yeah, it was a nice hard run, wasn't it, Sam? We have to do it again sometime. And basically, Priscilla's just standing there again, not faltering whatsoever. And, she's like, okay, you can go now, I'm done. And Sam tries to walk away. Oh no, not you. And then Priscilla, leaves to go to the kitchen, and Victoria leads Sam to the yellow room, and he basically shuts it down saying, I told you to stop tormenting her. If you ever do that again, then I'm quitting. And even before that, Victoria's like, that little bastard might have told your wife about the yellow room. It's like, wait, your little bastard, that's your son. So basically, when he gets riled up and says, I'm quitting, Victoria's like, oh, there he is, because that aggressive Sam, she likes it. Kind of reminds me of like Dale and Kyle. Basically, when Dale gets assertive, that apparently turns Kyle on. I feel like the same thing is true of Sam and Victoria. But here's where we get some backstory now. So Sam goes into the kitchen. I would have been scared to death to do that. Knives and everything are in there. So he goes in there to apologize, like, wait, that you really want to say I'm sorry right now? So apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong here in the comment section, I think it's Anita Parker. When they were in their early 20s, Priscilla was at college, Sam was in the military, and he fell for Anita Parker. And I guess it was a situation where while Priscilla was away, Sam decided he'd play. And, that really broke her heart. And, everybody said she was a fool for trying to give him a second chance, because once Anita kicked him to the curb and, broke his heart, then there was actually a guy named Daryl, who was a good guy for Priscilla, but instead of being with him, she decided to take Sam back after he came crawling back to her and, promised he'd never do anything like this again. And like I said, everybody was saying Priscilla was a fool for taking Sam back, and then they eventually got married. And this is the part, and like I said, I watched this scene twice, this particular scene in the kitchen. Maybe I misinterpreted it wrong, but apparently Priscilla and Sam haven't had sex in a year. And it's like, well, an honorable man would have waited, would have been understanding, would have asked if it was because, if I was tired or if it was a medical issue or whatever. Now, like I said before, even though I watched it twice, maybe I misinterpreted the scene wrong, but no sex for a year? Did Sam, it didn't sound like because Sam messed up or did something wrong, and that's why they didn't have sex. And to be completely honest, I would be a bit concerned if I had a wife and let's say, if I wasn't willing to have sex with her for a year or vice versa, unless there was something wrong. First of all, isn't it important to have communication in a relationship? Like, shouldn't it be something to be discussed? Like, hey, baby, I'm going through this, and this is why we can't do such and such. So, like I said, maybe I got to rewatch the scene again, but I was under the impression, like, if there was something wrong, wouldn't Priscilla tell Sam about it? Because, as a man, I can understand, no sex for a year. That's temptation's a bitch. So, and I'm not trying to say that, and I said this before, I'm not trying to justify Sam cheating, but anytime he tried to be romantic, Priscilla would just say, she would pull a SpongeBob, nah, I don't really feel like it. So from what we saw, Sam was really trying to be romantic. It wasn't just about having sex, but having an intimate night together with his wife, since it's been hectic, between switching out and moving in a new first family into the White House and all this craziness has been going down since the Franklin family moved in. So you just looking at season 1 Priscilla, and you just see Priscilla who is more concerned about everybody else except for her husband. And I'm not trying to say Sam isn't wrong for, cheating back in the day, but even still, they weren't married at the time. Like they were in a relationship, but they broke up and then he came crawling back and then they got married. So technically speaking, he never cheated while they were married. This was apparently their first time. So, but like I said, a year without sex, who's to say there isn't another woman he, effed around with? So, like I said, if you got something out of that scene that I didn't, then let me know. But I'd have to say, if Priscilla didn't have sex with Sam for a year without giving a valid reason, then yeah, that's kind of on her. But in any case, this marriage is dead. She's basically, saying that it's over, they're getting a divorce. But the best line was, being close to power doesn't mean you have it. And it's like, what, did you use me in order to move up in the ranks? It kind of reminds me of the Ellie and Alan dynamic, where it's like, wait, you were convenient. Basically, I got with you because it helped me get up to the next level. And now that I'm dancing with the president, I don't need you anymore. So it's very interesting to see the relationship dynamics in this show. So we get a brief scene between Victoria and Jason just questioning, what you tell her, you little bastard? I didn't tell her anything. So how do you sleep up in here knowing you killed her? Knowing I killed her and everything? Hey, I sleep well. And, Victoria tries to, assert her authority, but Jason pretty much barks and she leaves the room, basically saying, I wish you two were dead. It'll make things easier. But she makes it clear that I mean, this is literally Wyatt with Amanda's killing tendencies too. It's like the fact that I wish you two were dead, but then she makes it clear, you know, your father is the only reason you aren't behind bars right now or locked away in an asylum. And it's like, you know, you're becoming more like your sister. You know what? Maybe I see why she is the way she is, which leads me to believe that they really should lock Jason up somewhere. It's like you literally say, oh, anything's better than this, but give him a taste of prison, give him a taste of the life that he wants outside of the White House, and he'll see that he's better off being in the position he's in, and he should be grateful. So hopefully he gets an awakening moment like that, even though the little shit should be killed for what he's done. But Kareem is showing Sharon the surveillance footage from last night of when Kyle and Dale were going at it in the parking lot. And obviously he's concerned because that's a official vehicle, and you know, Dale might be trouble. And I mean, to be completely honest, I get Sharon be like, well, he's a nice guy and all, but you know, if I were Kareem, I'd be pretty nervous. You know what, you got people like Sam, Secret Service, walking around, and now you got like a government official harassing one of our new employees, and you know, and that's a family business. Who's to say it won't be a ripple effect where if one employee is being harassed by a government official, that might trickle down and corrupt my business. So there's that. Not to mention, we don't know if Kareem and Sharon are doing some shady stuff behind the scenes like drugs, but whatever. So in any case, he's like, he'll talk with Dale when he comes in, and he does. And Kareem, you know, talks to him real quick. Before that, Sharon just says, hey, we need to go to the White House, basically, to talk with my ex's dad about the Raccadoochie thing. And Kareem, you know, has a quick talk with Dale about the situation. It's like, oh yeah, we met at a bar, but it's nothing I couldn't handle. I'm sorry about that. And, you know, Kareem's obviously like, hey, I just want to make sure you're okay. But if anything like this happens again, make sure you let me know. It's like, okay, so you and Sharon just go on to the White House, and you did a good job closing the shop last night. So they get in the truck, and I'm not going to laugh at Dale's truck because, trust and believe, as somebody who grew up, well, obviously I'm back at home in a country-like area, I know what it's like to have family vehicles where one door won't open. You got to get in through the opposite side, and you know, this and that. So I was like chuckling because I've lived through that. So I know what it's like. So basically, Sharon's watching as Dale's, you know, moving his luggage from the seat of his truck to the back. And it's funny because when she gets in the truck from the driver's side, she hits the horn. It's hilarious. So they go on their way to the White House. So Donald is in the Oval with Hunter, telling him that it's a bad idea to go to the drone strike area. And then, you know, it's like he wants to take Ellie with him, and he's like, well, hey, this is one bad idea after another. He's like, you know what, I don't care. Really, to sum up Hunter, it's like he's a little kid who just wants to do whatever he wants. I mean, that's the most simplistic way of describing his character in this episode. So Nancy arrives at the White House and has a chat with Alonzo because she's there to bring lunch for Richard. And while Richard's being called down, she actually sees Frida coming in for a shift, and they go talk outside. Woman to woman. It's like, hello, Frida, this is Nancy. I just wanted to let you know, that's my man. Basically, stay away from her husband. And this was a bit uncalled for, considering, well, I felt bad for Frida. I mean, yeah, she's been quote-unquote flirting with Richard for years, and he's basically brushed it off, but he's been the, and I don't want to use this term, but it seems to be accurate, the aggressor, you know, saying, let's go out for dinner. And when Nancy showed up at the restaurant, Frida was apologetic and basically told Richard to his face while Nancy was sitting there, I don't know what problems you two got going on. I don't want to be involved in this. I'm gone. And she got up and left. I mean, she apologized. So I don't think it was a good move for Nancy to just confront Frida like that, especially the day after you just told Richard that, oh, I had a baby with your daddy. So she was a bit out of line for that. Well, no, she was definitely out of line for that. So then Richard comes out and was like, what are you doing here? Well, I'm in here to bring you lunch. Well, I thought you had to come around here to tell me about Barry. Are you even worried about him? Of course I am. It's like, oh yeah, I know you're more concerned about your baby daddy. You know how messed up that sounds? And I felt bad. Look, I'm not saying Nancy's a saint. I have my issues with Nancy, but the woman looked like she can cook based on some meals we've seen in the kitchen and the dinner table through the series. So, Richard, you should have taken that, you should have taken that cooler and got your lunch. I feel bad. I would have ate that lunch. So, and he even says, like, look, if you come back around here again, I'm going to revoke your clearance to the White House. So then we go over to Dale and Sharon on their way to the White House, and she's basically a slight interrogation, like, so all those clothes and everything, what's going on? Oh yeah, I just gotta do laundry. Are you homeless? I know some people on Twitter is like Sharon's judging him for being homeless. It felt a bit intrusive, but at the same time, it felt like a place of concern. And basically because he's been through it the past few months, that's why he had enough, packed up his truck, and got the hell out of Rockwell and came to DC. And he's like, hey, I'll work on getting a place once I get my first check. Well, that's 2 weeks away. I'll be fine. And she basically says, like, look, I'll talk with Kareem so you can stay with us. And, it's kind of like, well, Sharon is... I don't know. And I'm glad Dale is like, look, you're too nice, but also the fact that, well, I know if you talk with Kareem, it's going to happen. What do you mean? I could tell love when I see it. And basically he's like, well, look, the whole situation with that guy, it would be kind of dangerous because Kyle's worked for the government and he can find him and knows where he is. He wouldn't want to bring trouble to Kareem's front door, and I respect that, but Sharon just doesn't know. So, he even says, like, look, he's crazy, but I'm crazier. I've been beat around, bullied my entire life, but I'm done with that. So from there, we go over to Donald and Kyle, and they just talk about how it's a dumbass idea for Hunter to do all this stuff. He wants to bring the Beast. He wants a whole motorcade, mainly to impress Ellie. But also, I love the fact that Donald breaks it down. Since he's been in office, he's done less than 8 hours of actual work. No briefings, no cabinet meetings, nothing. He's just been doing absolutely nothing. If America knew how incompetent this guy was, my goodness. Oh yeah, and I also think that when Donald was talking with Hunter, he was pretty much saying how bad of an idea it was. And, Hunter's like, well, let's cover it up by going to like a hospital or something like that. Don't worry, we could find a way for the route to make that, stop and, look good to the public. And he's like, well, this is a bold move. So from there, we go over to Max and Bobby at this new safe house, and we meet Blakely. She's officially my new boo on the Oval. Fine as hell. Because isn't that Daphne's last name in Scooby-Doo? Daphne Blakely, I think. But in any case, she's suspicious at first because her and Bobby both pull out guns. But apparently her and Max used to know each other back in the day. Apparently, hooked up a couple times. But after the tension dies down, she's like, okay, before we get to Keel or anything, you two need to take a bath. And yeah, that's a given. So let me just skip ahead to when they go inside, since the Sharon and Dale thing, we could talk about that in just a second. So Blakely gives Max a beer and apparently asks about, everything that's going on. How he's getting a divorce. It's like, yeah, because we had sex before you got married. And it looks like the exposition dump happens off screen because she does hand him some clothes. Apparently those were his grandfather's clothes. And, he's not 100% sure about, Bobby, but he'll keep an eye on him because, well, he just kind of follows him around at this point. And, damn, Blakely was just fine as hell. But basically, he talks about the situation, how deep everything is. And, like, this goes all the way up to the top men. So Sharon and Dale get to the White House and Alonzo checks him in, but then Kyle takes over, and Kyle being Kyle kind of antagonizes him because Sharon's answering the questions, but then wait, can't he speak? And then Dale gets a bit of an attitude, and then from there Kyle lets him go in, and they're just standing there waiting, and she's like, wait, why were you so rude to that guy? No, he's right, I was just excited. And while they're kind of chatting it up, waiting for Richard to come in so they can exchange information, Sharon gets excited because the president and Donald walk by, and while they're going, Hunter's like, whoa. So he turns around and comes back and, flirts with Sharon, basically saying, wow, you're beautiful. You ought to work around here. You'll light up the place. And so what do you do? Oh, I'm in nursing school. Oh, wow, it must be expensive. Well, it is, but I manage. And, from there, gives her his number. And it's like, hey, talk with the butler, because he doesn't even know who the hell the butler is, and see about getting a job here at the Oval. And then the funny part is is like, oh yeah, you use my number, right? Yeah, I promise. If you need anything, let me know. But when he goes in for a selfie with Sharon, Dale tries to jump in and he just pushes him off. It's like, oh well, can I get a photo too? And he just blows him off completely. And hell, he even says, oh wow, would you like to have lunch? And then Donald's like, no, we got a cabinet meeting to go to, sir. And then they can leave. And it's funny because of the fact that Dale's like, wow, he was flirting with you. What? No. He's like, yeah, I didn't exist. No, that's not it. Yeah, he literally pushed me out of the way. Well, we know he has a thing for black women. Yeah, that's true. So she even noticed how Donald was weirdly staring at Dale. But remember, they know of each other because when Donald went to Kyle's apartment, Dale was in bed with Kyle. So that's how they know each other. And he's like, yeah, I hope he hurries up so we can get the hell out of here. So let me just jump ahead here. So Richard comes down and, Sharon and Dale have a quick chat about the situation. No word from Barry, but yeah, we talk with Sam about information regarding the compound he went to. Richard wants to go right away because Dale's like, I don't have the exact address, but I can give you the highway that it's off of. But, Richard's like, I'm going. It's like, I don't think you should go alone. And, hey, we'll go with you. No, it'll be dangerous. I don't want you to get into trouble, but you wouldn't know where to find it without us. So they actually group together. Richard's like, okay, call Kareem while we're on the road and we'll go to the compound right now. And this is a terrible idea, but we go over to Lily calling Bobby as he's getting out of the shower. She apologizes for not coming with him. And basically he's like, look, I have worked too hard to just drop everything that I've worked for and live on the run because I want to be safe. And you think you're safe there? Well, as long as I do what I'm told, I'm safe. Is that any way to live? But that's the thing, Bobby. I want to live. She literally sounded like Whitney. Bobby, wait, Bobby. Look, don't contact me anymore. I'll reach out to you if I need it. Bobby, please, no. Lily, you got to be tough. You got to be tough. You got to be stronger. So then the end of the episode, Lily's actually at the spot in the woods where the cabin was, and she's shocked because people in hazmat suits are cleaning up and, the cabin was destroyed. Remember, this was the place of the drone strike. One of the security, sneaks up on her like, man, this is a top secret area. What are you doing? Wait, you're Donald's wife. Wait, does he know you're out here? I come out here sometimes to hide out. So come with me. So as soon as the entire presidential parade, if you will, motorcade arrives, she's taken to Hunter, Ellie, Donald, and Kyle, and then the episode ends. But overall, this was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Maybe because we didn't have Barry going, Callie! We just focused really on moving the story forward, and I loved it. We got, a new character. I know some people are like, me, where it's like, okay, how many characters do we need? But when she's fine as Blakely, hey, I don't care. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with my score of a 10 out of 10? And with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next video.